This brings me on to a different topic. Because you haven't done just one major project, but the other one that it's fucking seared into my brain because I've seen it is Kajaki, right? And I remember watching it, and it's one of the most intense films. I remember scenes from it. I remember moments from it. The helicopter, and you're like, oh, you bastard, you know, my God. I don't even know where to begin, but I'm curious, was that filmed on location?
So we filmed in Jordan. We went out to Jordan for 6 weeks. So to give context to anybody watching, Kajaki is a true story. It was produced by the Academy Award winning producer of The King's Speech, Gareth the Sunman. So Gareth brought his Oscar onto the set, and that was the standard. You know, that was the standard. You're working with an Oscar winner. This is the standard he's expecting, which was phenomenal. To go and be a movie star in the desert for 6 weeks was great. You know, I had done Angel's Share by then, so I had a wee bit of experience of movie making under my belt. But it was Ken Loach, and it's a really unique style and way of making movies. I completely forgot to ask about it. We'll come back to that. Yeah. So Ken Loach is a very different way of making it. This was more. It's a true story. You were playing a real person, so it wasn't like Outlander. You're representing Scottish history. So there's true elements to it. This was...
But you're allowed more liberties.
Kajaki was the British paratroopers found themselves in an older Russian minefield.
Yeah, Soviet Union minefield, still active.
It's historical, and in Kajaki. They were stationed in Kajaki Dam, which is the area of Afghanistan where they were based. And just if you think of the way I describe it, probably is Jaws in the desert. It's the sand, and these mines are under the sand, and you're terrified any time anybody moves. You're like, don't move, don't go in the water. You know, then George is like, don't go in the water. Why are you getting in the water? Why are you getting in a cage and getting in the water? Well, the Kajaki is like, why are you moving? Why are you walking? Don't throw a bottle of water. Why are they trying to land a helicopter in a minefield?
The thing is, even that, but it's even tenser to me than Jaws. Maybe because I just really related to the fact that 1 inch of movement, there was you're a prisoner, and then there's the element of there's the fear of or you imagine, is it there, is it not?
The other thing is they've got the fear of what happened was Stu Hale was one of the paratroopers, went out on a patrol for a Taliban roadblock, an illegal checkpoint they'd set up. So he was going out to recce a sniper on it, and he cut through the Wadi. It's an old dried out riverbed, and what they reckon over the years, the mines were outside of the riverbed, but they've fallen down over the years in there, so that's why nobody knew they were there. When he walked through the Wadi, which is deemed as a safe place to walk, he stood on one of the mines and lost his leg. Now the noise that goes off of the mine and the attention it gets, they were worried the Taliban would be coming as well. So the idea is that you're sitting ducks in this Wadi riverbed, you're trying to help your pal, but you're also worried that over the hill at any moment could come the Taliban. So the version of it is essentially, the story is that day there was 4 separate mine incidents. Lots of the guys lost legs and were maimed, and Corporal Mark Wright lost his life in the incident, depicted in the movie. And it's a story of the band of brothers, the guys together, how they support each other through that really difficult time. As I say, it was a privilege and an honour to tell the story, but also to play Stu Pearson, who I played in it. So I got to meet Stu. Stu lived in East Kilbride.
Yeah, I didn't know.
So it was incredible to go and meet Stu and hear his story firsthand, and then go into the movie set. And we obviously had a movie script. It was everybody's story together. But you were there representing Stu, so I would phone Stu the night before we filmed to say, this is what the script is, this is the shots, this is what I've been told we're going to be doing tomorrow. Is that alright? Is this the script? Are you happy with the script and stuff like that for me to say these things? Yeah. Then the next day I would go back to him and say, look, this is what we filmed, this is a bit to change, this is a bit, I didn't say that thing that I thought we were going to say, and they gave me something else to say. So all those sort of things, and it was an incredible movie, and David Elliott, who portrayed Corporal Mark Wright in it, he won the Scottish BAFTA for it, and he beat David Tennant and Robert Carlyle to it, so that's not a bad night at the BAFTA, that's not a bad night at the BAFTAs. But yeah, Kajaki's an incredible story, and
I feel like it's underrated a bit, because
I think
it deserves more.
Well, I mean, I think it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and stuff like that. We get 5-star reviews. I think Jeremy Clarkson said it, may well be the best war movie ever made, and there's not a shot fired in it. It's not, and that was a big thing. We were doing a lot of promo. Stu Pearson and I would go on the television and stuff, the breakfast TV shows and stuff, and we'd say that it's the backdrop to the movie's war. but it's not really a war movie if you think about it. It's about these guys that find themselves in this circumstance, and I say to them, so if you've got the script and the story and you changed it to a natural disaster, do you know what I mean, like an earthquake, or they're on a mountain, it's how far these guys would go for each other, putting other people before themselves, it's an incredible heroic story of what the guys were willing to do for their mates.
Yeah, and it's on the one hand, it's like the camaraderie of the soldiers. I felt like there's a bit of criticism of maybe the higher ups or the what becomes sort of the institution of the army, because like, again, I don't want to spoil anything, but that helicopter shows up, you're fucking raging.
Yeah, well, what happens in the movie is there's one of the guys got on a mine strike. He loses a limb to the mine strike, and the radio in standard practice is a winch helicopter to come and winch him up out of the place where the mines are. And there was a big court case all on this, and the movie was delayed a few times. The MOD were supposed to be providing helicopters, and then they withdrew that support when they read the script and stuff like that. So there was a big court case about did the guys have the right equipment, and one of the things that we were told was that the winch helicopters weren't equipped with winches. The British winch helicopters, they removed the winches to save on fuel, so when they radioed for one they didn't have any. And then they had to ask the Americans for a favour. The only asset available, it was Colonel Tuto asked the Americans for an asset, i.e. a helicopter, and they said we've only got a Chinook. Now the guy specifically asked for a winch helicopter, but they sent a Chinook, and Tuto in his interview said it was either send a Chinook or let them bleed to death, because by that time there was multiple casualties, and if you didn't send anything nobody was going to survive, so they sent the Chinook. Unfortunately the downblast for the Chinook set off the fourth mine, and injured Corporal Mark Wright, and it did so much damage that he didn't survive his injuries, and that was all part of a huge court case that went on, and there was settlements and stuff like that. So you imagine that you're not just telling that story, there's a political landscape round about it going on as well. Issues. We ended up, the Jordanian military provided the helicopters, and it was the Jordanian military that airdropped into the set to winch the guys out, which creates its own problems. They don't speak English, and there's things. So we were doing the briefing, you're having to say, well, we weren't, but the production team were saying, now this guy is going to be, you have to lift this guy's going to be telling you not to lift that guy, but ignore him because he's acting. Do you know what I mean?
So you have to tell like who's telling you, okay, oh my god.
And the Jordanian military had to be wearing American outfits, which means that the weapons that they carry are in different places, and so they're not in their comfort zone. So they're doing something they do every day, essentially, in the helicopters, rescuing and practicing.
Completely change it.
But completely changing a lot of aspects to it as well. So
military, the details matter.
Yeah. So that was it as well. And thankfully I didn't have to go up. I didn't get winched out in a helicopter. My shot was done. What do you call it? Post. So it was like, well, no post. It was after. You just see me in the helicopter. We do the shot of seeing a couple of other guys going up, and that tells you the story of the guys that winched up, and then it cuts to me in the helicopter, which was a lot nicer than getting winched up, because at the points the guys were spinning around as they were going up and stuff like that. So there was a few stories in the bar afterwards about how scary that was. Worried. Have you ever been on a roller coaster and you're worried you're not strapped in right? If you're attached to a helicopter that's gone up off the ground, that's pretty terrifying. You're worried, is that strap going to go? Is that strap alright? Is it tight enough? And the other thing for us, we were lying on the ground when the helicopter comes into land. I mean, the downblast from a helicopter, wow. I mean, when you're on a desert floor, you literally are breathing in sand. You can't not. The air is sand, so you're breathing in, and you're lying there as the actor going, hurry up and go away. We can't breathe. There's rocks hitting you as well. There's rocks off this. That's nothing you can do. We're filming in the desert.
And there
are bugs. The sunburn's real. Everything's all there. And when they bring a helicopter down that low, I don't know, is it 20 meters above you? You feel it. Do you know what I mean? You really feel it. So there's no acting in that, but that's just real terror of going, hurry up.
Your face going, ah.
Yeah.